Christian Mikkelsen. I'm chef owner down here at Mission Burgers and Chicken. So I grew up here in the valley out in East Wenatchee. My family worked apple orchards, the cherries, some pear orchards. So I grew up working on those, and then my first job was at the old Easy Burger Deluxe over there on the north side of town. From there, moved on to culinary school. Went to culinary school in Portland. Spent the last 20 years cooking through Oregon, Washington, a little bit in New Zealand, a little in Australia, kind of traveling around. And now I'm back in the valley. I always kind of wanted to go back into fast food. I started kind of in, like I said, at Easy's and moved on to some fine dining after culinary school and did a lot of that. I just like the fast pace, the adrenaline, having to pump out food fast, and I thought Wenatchee could use something a little updated, a little bit more modern, where somebody was making all this food from scratch. Cutting the onion rings, grinding the meat, cutting, marinating the chicken, as well as the French fries, instead of just having a freezer full of stuff. And so our meat is mostly ground chuck, a little bit of brisket, and then we grind it, hand form our little meatballs.
So that's 240 little balls a day.
Smash them on the grill for every burger. The buns we get them from a great bakery up in Leavenworth, Bosket. And I don't really want to use anything else because I think that's the second most important ingredient in the burger after you have the meat. It's kind of an older way of cooking a burger that in the last few years has kind of come back around again. I like them because you get a great caramelization, you have a higher temp grill. It's really all about that crust, and you have not a really high fat content, but high enough that the meat stays juicy. The patties here are never going to be dry or rubbery or like little hockey pucks. They should be really tender and really juicy because minimally handled. Smash, they cook really quick, which I also like. Helps make the line move a little bit faster. And you're also never going to get a pink burger doing it this way either. Back here, we're curing our own bacon, so I bring in raw pork belly. We cure it for 7 days. It's a maple brown sugar, and then I got a couple, little spices in there as well. We cure it 7 days, and then it smokes for 3 hours. We slice it, and then we grill it. So you're getting something that it's taken a little bit of time to make, as well as the pastrami. I'm brining the pastrami for 3 or 4 days, and then it gets a smoke and a braise in an oven to where it's nice and tender, has a nice spice crust on it. Top a couple of burgers and our Yeti fries with that.
Right now I'm going through over 100 pounds a day, so 2 cases of potatoes a day.
Fries, we cut them by hand every day right now. They soak, we rinse them, get a lot of that potato starch off there, and then we blanch them. It's a little bit of a process. We blanch them at a lower temp, cool them down, and then they'll go back into the fryer for a couple minutes. When they come out, we toss them with some nice sea salt. We only use fresh cracked peppercorn here. I don't buy in ground pepper. Every bit of black pepper starts as a whole peppercorn, and we grind it down in the grinder. And then those fries get tossed with a little bit of that sea salt, a little fresh cracked pepper, and then a little fresh Italian parsley that we chop every day. So the onion rings so far have kind of been the divisive menu item, but they're not perfect, they're not uniform. We cut them by hand. We start with whole Walla Walla sweet onions, peel them, slice them, pop out the rings. Sometimes those rings break, and that's okay. They marinate in just buttermilk, and then they go into a cornmeal dredge. I call them pow pow onion rings because I make my own chili powder that we take chilies, toast them, grind them up. And so I've always just kind of called that the chili pow pow, so that's why they're the pow pow onion rings. We make all from scratch, all of our own sauces. We're also making our own cheese sauce. We're not opening up cans of nacho cheese sauce. We take heavy cream, fresh grated cheddar, some American, and a little feta cheese for our Yeti fries and for our shells and cheese. So we have the cracked peppercorn ranch. We make that here. The proper tartar, which is probably my favorite one. It's going to be a tartar that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else. There's a lot of fresh herbs in it. It's more than just mayonnaise and relish. Some lemon, there's some red onion, there's some fennel, there's parsley, there's chives. So that one's really good, and it's got a little chunk to it, lots of flavor. My other favorite one is the ají verde, and that's a Peruvian-based sauce. It's the green one. It's got jalapenos, a little bit of kick, some cilantro, sour cream, feta, so that's super good. And then I really like the honey mustard. So it's a lemon pepper honey mustard, a little sweet, a little sour, a little bit of bite from that mustard. Super delicious on some chicken strips. And the barbecue sauce, Capital Barbecue. There's no ketchup in it whatsoever. It is made out of straight apples, a little bit of chipotle, some spices, a little bit of sugar, and then we cook it down for a while with some smoked onions to really get that kind of smoky barbecue flavor. So the pickles is a recipe that I developed kind of a few months ago. It's kind of based off of a bread and butter pickle. They're slightly sweet as like a traditional bread and butter pickle. I like to throw a bit of spice in there too. There's some chili flakes, some dried dill. And the kicker that kind of makes them the bomber pickles is the curry powder. So a little bit of curry powder is kind of something maybe you don't kind of expect or typically see in most of your pickles. And then I use that pickle brine to help marinate the chicken. So we take some of that pickle juice, mix it with some buttermilk, and then we marinate our chicken in it overnight before it gets breaded in fresh flour and secret spice dredge. I treat this place more like a restaurant line where we're making it to order. I don't want to have a bunch of fries done ahead of time. I don't want to have a bunch of onion rings even breaded ahead of time because I think it kind of messes with the quality that you end up getting. And so we've been so busy. Well, there's a line of cars out there. It's a little bit of a wait, but as long as what you get after the wait is worth it and fresh, delicious, hot, then I feel like the wait will be worth it. It's been amazing. It's been unexpected. Absolutely. I did not think that it would be like this. I thought we'd kind of start slow and kind of build it, and turned out first day we sold out and we're not 100% ready, but people have been responding really well. It really couldn't have gone better, honestly. Most people are happy, most people appreciate what we're trying to do here, and that's really what I want to get across. The fact that we're not just opening up a bunch of bags out of a freezer and slapping it in the fryer or throwing it on the grill. We're taking the time. It takes a lot of time, takes a little bit of effort, costs a little bit more money, but if you care about the quality of the food you're eating and you want to eat something a little different that you can't get anywhere else in town, then it's worth it. So the responses and the reviews online so far I think have been overwhelmingly mostly positive. We feel really good about it and just want to keep going, stay consistent and keep building it from here. Every day my whole goal is to be a little bit better than we were yesterday with every day going forward here, and so that's what we're going to work towards. Eat the burgers, eat the chicken, get on down here.
Good afternoon, thank you.